What's up, faithful Matt versus? What's up, faithful Matt versus viewers? What's up, faithful Matt versus viewers? How you guys doing? Thanks for watching the series. Really appreciate it. In this video, I want to, well, first say hello to Gymshark, my clothing sponsor, being shipped out to attend the Body Power Expo in Birmingham, UK, 2013. Had to get that out there, just as a reminder. And what is up? Yo, what's up, Matt versus viewers? Thank you guys for being incredibly loyal to this series. It's crazy. Really appreciate it. This video is going to be reason number 2 why I chose to stay natural. First, I just want to give a quick shout out to Gymshark. What's happening, Gymshark? This is my clothing sponsor. I'm being shipped out along with Chris Lovato and a few other guys next year to the UK, Birmingham, for the Body Power Expo. So anyone in the UK, come and see us next year in May 2013. On to the topic. So back in September, I made a video. It was called Why I Chose to Stay Natural. I think a lot of people wanted to hear my reasons. I was only able to get up one reason in the span of 8 minutes, and I didn't want to make a super long video. So I threw the rest of the reasons in the description box. I'm looking at it right now, and I think I'll cover 1 or 2 right here in this Matt versus for you. And somewhere along in this video, I'll probably throw in some workout clips of a back day. So you might see that now, you might see it later. A quick summary of the first reason why I chose to stay natural. I guess it may be helpful for me to give a quick summary how I got into lifting weights, bodybuilding. It wasn't necessarily for fitness or health reasons. It was mostly, like, in my own words, to get bitches back in the day. It was an ego-driven thing. Wanted to get bigger, stronger, faster, in just as fast as possible. So it was really an impatient grab at power, at what I thought would bring me confidence, etc. And it did have those immediate pleasures, you could say, but in the end, I learned how long it would take me to get to where I want to go. I learned the limitations that being natural had, and eventually I came to terms with the reality that staying natural would I wouldn't be able to reach unnatural levels of muscularity, etc., and I was okay with that. So I chose to stay natural because eventually the whole get bitches, get muscle now, must be bigger than all of my friends sort of mentality slowly faded away, and I was able to kind of balance it in a more healthy manner along with the rest of the things that are important to me. So that was why I chose to stay natural initially, reason number 1. Reason number 2, I wrote down simplicity for reason number 2. So I guess I'll just talk about that without changing up the order. What is simple? What do I mean? I guess you gotta look at it like this. I mean, in terms of bodybuilding, right? The overall goal is to pack on as much muscle on your body as possible. I guess look good, right, for bodybuilding, because that's what bodybuilding is, trying to build muscle and look good. Create yourself, chisel your body out, all these different metaphors. And when it comes to competitive bodybuilding, obviously you want to win or whatever, but basically as a hobby you want to better yourself on a regular basis, constantly get better, either bigger, stronger, better than you were yesterday, the year before. You want more muscle, less body fat, and to be able to hold that. So, you know, years and years ago, I've been lifting now for like 6-7 years, I don't know, 6 years, whatever, since I was about 15 and a half, and I'm turning 22 sort of soon. So it's not 7 years, but it's more than 6. I'll just say that I started to learn more about bodybuilding did research on programs, nutrition. I couldn't find any solid answers, to be honest, in the beginning. And of course, if you look long enough, you'll eventually stumble upon like steroids. You'll eventually run into certain names, certain nicknames, this and that. And I started to kind of look into that, just the names and stuff, and see what other people were doing, and it just blew my mind how many different like steroids you could take, how many different things you could inject, things you could take orally. There was just so much out there. I was like, fuck. I'm like, initially that was automatically what like drew me away. I was like, whoa, this is just way too much. It looks like Pandora's box, and if I open it, shit's gonna just explode, and my life will never be the same. I mean, that's not necessarily the case if you do take steroids, but in reality now, as a competitor, right, as a competitor who wants to be the best they can in their given sport, as a natural, as someone who doesn't care to take steroids to get bigger, who won't take steroids to get bigger, things are pretty simple for me. There's really only a handful of variables. A handful. Sleep. It's something I can control, right? Genetics is not a variable you can control, so let's not even talk about it right now. So you can obviously control your sleep, your diet, your training program. I mean, how intelligent you train, your methods, your techniques, of course, your effort, and water intake, and these little things, micronutrients, etc. You put that into nutrition. So it's really not too many things that you control, right? In terms of bodybuilding, and as a competitor. But then as a untested, say, competitor, there's all those factors, those variables that you could play with, but then you have all of these other ones, right? You have all these other ones. And if you think about it, it's just, right off the bat, you're probably thinking it's automatically more complex than just doing things without any enhancements, diuretics, growth hormone this, test E, P, etc. It's just simpler in terms of things you have to worry about, and in terms of the total amount of factors that are going into the total package of the bodybuilder. And that was one thing that really steered me away from taking steroids, was the fact that at the surface it looked really complicated. There were so many different, I mean, this was back when I was 16, 17, and I was hearing words androgen receptors, testosterone, and all these long ass words. I was just like, what the fuck is all of this? And without even knowing the health risks, I simply saw it as, wow, this is complicated as fuck. Like, there are so many different things. And now looking at it, yes, it is pretty complicated. I mean, at higher levels of bodybuilding, alchemists, I heard Louis Marco say alchemists, but the word I usually use was chemists. I usually said chemists. Individuals will hire chemists to have them help them with these add-ons, these other variables that a person who decides that they aren't going to take that stuff, that person doesn't ever have to worry about those little variables. And in terms of simplicity, it's just like, it was just way too much for me. And that was, I can leave it at that. That's reason 2 why I chose to stay natural. It was simplicity. I don't want to make it more complicated than these current variables that I'm dealing with now. And on top of reason number 1, which was, it's not a real big ego thing for me anymore to be enormous. I'm patient. I've learned my patience, and I've learned to be proud of these small gains that I'm making. Those are reasons number 1 and 2. and pretty soon I'll give you reason number 3, maybe throw in reason number 4. Reason number 3 I wrote health, and I might have to take notes on that. And reason number 4 was transparency / honesty. And it may not be exactly what you think by the word honesty. So that's that, guys. Peace out.
And quit being a little bitch!
Ogus cake!